You are listening to Making It, the path to beauty industry greatness with Canvas Me, where we go behind the scenes to explore the human side of beauty professionals, learn how they found balance in their lives, overcame obstacles, and created communities that transcend the ordinary. Hosted by Canvas Me co-founders Jen and Matt Martinelli alongside Canvas Me directors April and Megan, Making It is your guide to navigating the ever-evolving world of beauty.
Welcome to Making It, your backstage pass to beauty. I'm April, and we're joined by Harper Cox, the founder of Harper's Hair Culture. Today, we'll explore her journey into salon ownership and discuss red flags she's encountered when hiring. Join us as we uncover her insights in the exciting future of Harper's Hair Culture. Harper, we are just so excited to chat with you today. We know that you've got some, you have an exciting journey into this world. And I am just so excited for you to share this. So to kick things off, do you feel like you've made it?
That is a great question because I'm somebody who's very goal oriented and I'm very excited about my goals and where I'm headed to. So it's hard for me to say yes, but also looking back from where I've started, like I've been in the industry for 11 years. If I met myself 11 years ago, where I am now, I would say definitely yes.
Yeah. And in 11 years of being in the industry, you must feel like it's two different worlds from when you first entered. Because I feel like the beauty industry has rapidly changed. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely, I do.
What's one of the biggest things you've noticed that has changed?
When I started this industry, social media has definitely been taking over. When I started, it was just something weird that we didn't know what to do with it. We were taking pictures, but we didn't think it was going to be that relevant. I remember like salon owners thinking it was weird that we were like editing photos and getting into that anyways. So I would say social media has definitely skyrocketed and just did the most during the last 11 years. I do feel like the changes in people's mentality quickly changes as the trends change too. So I've just noticed that being like up and down quite a bit this last decade.
Yeah. How do you overcome those challenges? Especially, I'm assuming you're referring to both clients and professionals just trying to keep
Yes.
up. It's almost like yeah. So how do you overcome some of that?
Well, before I went into the hair industry, I was very much into doing hair. I knew I wanted to do hair, but I also was getting into like the technical side. I was definitely, I mean, if you remember MySpace, like I used to love MySpace, so I was coding and doing all that fun stuff. So I felt like I was a little bit ahead because I was already kind of playing around. So at first I was super excited about it. I was excited about all the trends. There was a lot of flops, like looking back, I'm like, ew, why did I do that? But but I think I really thought it was exciting. Now, me today definitely wants to delegate those tasks. I still have fun making reels and doing this and that, but I definitely find that I use my like front desk help that are younger, and I am definitely like looking into a social media marketing specialist who can keep up with all the trends because I'm not really into TikTok and there's always like a new app or a new something that's going on and I'm really just focused on other areas of my business. So I definitely think at some point I will fully delegate that to somebody else.
Yeah. And I feel like that might be the one of the biggest things if you were to go back to yourself 11 years ago to think that you were considering hiring a social media manager. I mean, that would be one of the things that I would never guess of doing. Right. And now in this day and age, it is 100% something that is needed. And I am definitely of the age of MySpace. So I totally get that. What I think is the biggest difference of social media in general is that it's no longer static images. Right. Everything, we're making movies. I mean, this was nothing we could have dreamed of going into the early 2000s of that we would be doing is that we're creating mini movies. I mean, we're almost creating commercials all the time, which is wild to think about of how far things have advanced where I find myself talking to salons, about how to market themselves and things like that. And video is key. I mean, if you don't have a video, people are just kind of moving on. Like they're just like, static
Yeah.
image. It just doesn't speak to them anymore. And I don't know if it's that we're craving that connection to really kind of see like the, you know, the human side of things, or just to see it more in like life form instead
Mhm.
of instead of a picture. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I'm sure I'm just I'm curious as to where we're going from here, to be honest.
I agree. I'm curious on what else could possibly become a trend, or if we go back to simple times.
Mm.
I'm not sure, but it is definitely something that keeps you on your toes and keeps you just always learning, and it is exhausting to say the least, but I'm still a little bit excited about it. It's not complete exhaustion,
Sure.
which I'm grateful for, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that sometimes it's almost like technology fatigue. It's like, wait, what do I have to know
Yes.
now? Yes, and I totally get of like there's so many different apps that are coming out, and just trying to keep up, and that's where one of the things where, you know, Canvas Me is a great tool because it allows people to put all of those onto one, so that you as a hiring manager can just see all in one place. It's like, okay, I don't have to do a lot of research to figure out where you are and where you're posting.
Yes.
But well, walk us through a little bit of your journey. So I know you've been in the industry for 11 years, and I know that you're a salon owner today. So take us a little bit through that journey. And I love that you were always passionate about getting into the beauty industry.
Yeah, so 11 years ago, I made the decision to fully commit to doing hair. But I did start off by obviously going to beauty school. Oh, I shouldn't say obviously, because there's multiple ways to get your license these days. But I went to beauty school. I had a great time. I loved it. And then I found the first salon that I worked at. And it was a European salon, which is kind of the opposite of what I specialize in now. But I learned a lot of great things, and I loved it there. And then I quickly realized like what I'm passionate about is something I cannot do or perform at that salon. So no hard feelings, no issues. It was just time for me to move on so I can start focusing on having my own business where we specialize in what we specialize in, which I'll get into that. So then I think I worked at another salon for a little bit because I was like, I'm not quite ready to make the jump, but I would love to find a good team and in a place where I can do what I want to do. And then that space, again, nothing wrong with them. It was just a personal thing. Like I'm not able to fully commit to what I want to do. So then I found a small studio, and I quickly outgrew that studio. I was in there for about a year, and that's when I was really able to like start figuring out what I want as a new business owner. I also had young kids and um, things going on in my personal life. So I was really figuring out what it is that I want and how I want my business to kind of unfold. And so that's when I started creating like my 5-year business plan and things like that. So once I started to and my 5-year business plan has like evolved quite a bit. And I would say that there's moments where I was ahead of what I wanted, and then there's moments where I feel behind. Um, but for the most part, after that year, I realized I want to grow and I want to expand my business. So then I found like a salon storefront, and it was more on the west side of where I live. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. And so it was a really scary jump because I went from like 100 square feet to like 900 square feet. And I was terrified.
Absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, like let's just pause for a second. I love the fact that Harper, you have always stayed so true to your goals and value without having to feel guilt of moving forward. I love that. That's so inspiring because so many people get really paralyzed in those moments if they feel really bad to leave maybe their first salon or another location that they're at, and even whether or not it's a good or bad situation for them. I love just right away, I'm like, oh my goodness, you were determined from day one. Like, you know exactly what you're looking for. You know, you've always had this in the back of your mind. I love that you got into a suite. And I'm sure that there was learning moments in that as well, from going from 100 square feet to 900 square feet. I mean, we know that that is like a huge, huge change.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But I just wanted to comment real quick on that. Like, I love how like determined you are. You
Thank
truly,
you.
yeah, you're truly inspiring. Okay, continue. So you went to 900 square feet. What was that like?
So that was very interesting. definitely needed the extra space, and I was definitely able to do a little bit more of what I wanted to do. And then of course COVID happened. So then that made me, I thought I was gonna lose it all at that point. I was like, there's a high chance that we got shut down for 3 months where we live, and we had no income. I didn't get any of the grants. I didn't get, at first, like I didn't get help with anything. So I was like, again, I had a family, so I couldn't pay. I still had to pay my home bills and my salon bills without getting any income. So like we were wiping out our savings. Like it was just a crazy time for everybody, which I believe we all can relate to. And I was just terrified. I was like, wow, I worked this hard. I think I moved a year. I think I was a year into my larger space, and I was just like, wow, I just invested so much into this, and now everything is gonna just fall apart. And then I started joining some like virtual education and things like that, because that boomed quite a bit during like that pandemic COVID era. I was getting really inspired. And then once we were able to start working, that's when my first employee kind of fell into my lap. So I had like a couple of renters, because where I took over, it was like an older lady, she retired. And so there was like an older clientele. So I had a couple of people renting chairs to kind of take care of that older clientele. That's just, they did like roller sets and things that I just didn't offer.
Sure.
And so I had that going on. But then I was like, maybe at first I was not ready for employees. I was like, maybe in 10 years when my kids are older. But the opportunity to get an employee kind of fell into my lap. And then that's when I was like, okay, let's start that journey with having employees. And I will say what we do is we're curl exclusive. And so we started offering curly hair services, and that was extremely difficult. Working with curly hair and like highly textured hair is very hard. I'm going to be honest. Like I love it. I'm super passionate about it. And that's what's kept me determined throughout the years. But it's like, it felt like a completely different business going from like more European style to being curl exclusive. So my books just boomed. I don't know what COVID did, but everybody wanted to wear their natural hair, and my business just started flourishing. And I was finally bringing in like good money, and my clientele boomed, and it was a time for me to start hiring. And obviously I wasn't as prepared with hiring as I wanted to. And my first employee, me and her are still great friends. She's not with me anymore, but that's when I started my kind of, I want a team. I'm tired of working alone. The rental thing was okay, but not exactly what I wanted. I wanted a culture, a certain type of culture into the salon, and I wanted to be curl exclusive. So then we started diving into that fully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a journey. And the fact that you took this leap and then COVID happened. I mean, that is, again, speaking to just how your determination, that was a low point, I'm sure, for you, in the sense of just having this panic of, oh my gosh, what did I do? And I know so many salons that can relate to your situation, whether or not they were already an established salon or just had made that change. And it was a terrifying time to see what was going to happen, because this industry was meant to be recession resilient. It was like everybody still needs to get their hair done. So there was no playbook for any of us during that time. And I'm sure for you, it actually made you stronger as a salon owner. Yeah. And the fact that you were able to basically kind of test a couple of different business models, maybe not by choice, right? So you started off with some chair rentals, and you got a taste of that. And it seems like you quickly realized that's not what you were looking for. You were looking for more of encompassing an entire team and environment. And I love that you have a specialty, and the fact that your books exploded, because it was almost like this, confirming that you are on your right path, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. And I will say, even with all of that, I definitely feel way more resilient and way more strength in my passion. And so after I think I did about 4 years at that 900 square foot salon, and then when my lease came due, I actually expanded again. So now I'm in like a salon that's 2,200 square feet. I have 5 employees and I think like 2 or 3 renters. And the goal is to grow. So it's not easy. It's definitely extremely difficult, which I'm sure we'll get more into like within the next few questions. But it's kind of nice to sit here and talk to you about my journey because I'm like, wow, because sometimes you just don't reflect on everything you've been
Yes.
through. So I'm just having this moment like, okay, I am doing good.
You've
We're
done some
doing okay.
you've done some amazing things in the fact that you just went from 900 to 2200. So you have this journey of just really expanding pretty quickly here.
Yes. Yes,
And
I
going
guess so.
bigger. Yes. So what are some challenges that you have encountered as you continue to grow larger and larger?
Oh, you mentioned not having a playbook, and I definitely think with hiring, that's been like one of my biggest challenges. I don't trust easily in general, and so when you bring in teammates, you have to put a lot of trust in them, especially when they work on your clientele or the clients that you bring in and your reputation. And so I feel as if that has been really hard. And I'm learning a lot, and I feel like I'm in a much better space to expand my team. And I feel like I've learned the things that I've needed to so that I can better prepare myself for situations. Any salon owner is going to know that hiring and firing and all the things that come along with that is one of the hardest things you can do in life. And I have multiple children, and I find hiring and like having a team way harder than being a parent. So it's a huge task. And
It really it really is
it
because you have to become in a way, and I can totally relate to you in the challenge of, trying to give trust right away. And so we have to be like detectives when we become
yeah.
hiring managers, right? So we're trying to do all this research to figure out because we also know, and maybe you've had this experience of hiring the wrong person. And when
Yes.
you have the wrong person, it becomes this almost just this toxicity that just starts to spread, and it's not good for the culture, it's not good for your clientele. I mean, sometimes a lot of stylists don't realize that that type of energy that's negative or just not the right energy, clients can feel that. And that
Yes.
can have an effect. And a lot of people don't think in those terms. And it really is so crucial. So I don't blame you for getting kind of like, oh my goodness, how do I trust and things like that? So are there red flags that you kind of now associate with when you interview someone that you're kind of like, nope, nope,
Yes.
not the right fit? Yeah.
Yes.
What would be some of those red flags?
So I definitely always promote having business coaches. They help you out in time of need. We're emotional people, at least I am, and so I get really attached to people. And like you said, sometimes you don't realize there was a bad fit. And I recently had that where it was a bad fit, and I didn't realize it was a bad fit until they were gone. And then my clients were like, "Oh my goodness, it feels so much better here." So moving forward, like I said, I have a really great team right now, and I'm excited about it. But my red flags are definitely trust your gut. Everybody that I've hired, I knew exactly what kind of person they would be the moment I did an interview with them. And I even told my coach, like, I'm worried about this person because I think they're going to be this, this, this. Or this person is messy, or this person is lazy, or whatever. I knew that right away when I hired each employee. And some of those things you look over because you're like, but they have whatever green flags they have kind of overshadow some of those orange or red flags until it becomes a not great situation for me or the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And
No.
I would also say I didn't have as much confidence as I do now. So I would say that was something on my end too. I wasn't as confident, so I didn't think I deserved like great employees. So I think again, I've grown a lot, and now I can make a way better decision.
Yeah, and I think that that's great advice in the sense of trusting your gut because sometimes we
Hmm.
can get so focused on, I have to hire right now. I'm in a
Yes.
desperation mode, like I'm losing money. But sometimes, and trust me, so I'm a previous salon manager myself, and I have been in those situations before, and those are not great places or great mindsets to hire.
Yes.
Because you're in a totally different mindset where you're seeing like I can't complete clientele and I'm losing money. And
Hmm.
so you get to that point and honestly in this industry it's about timing, and especially where you have a specialty, right? I'm sure it's a
Yes,
little more challenging in the
it
sense of
is.
trying to find someone who really encompasses that as a
It
passion.
is.
Yeah.
And that's another big issue that I'm having is anytime I go to career fairs or anytime I do interviews, I feel like it's like 1 in 100 that would actually be a good fit. So it takes a lot more time. So sometimes I'll see myself like, oh my goodness, my friend over here, she has all these employees and I can barely like find one. And then I'm like, no, you have to realize what you do is very rare anyways, and it's it's just really difficult to find the right match. And I have to find the right match for the clientele too, not just for myself or the business. So that part is really hard and I have to stay really patient. And that's extremely hard because I'm turning people away every day. And yeah, but we're getting into a better space. So I'm excited about what is happening in the salon currently. So
Yeah.
it's coming
Good.
together. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any big future goals for the salon that you'd like to share?
Yes, so we are really rolling out our apprenticeship program, which I love, and I think it's going to be a great way to get back to our community and get some curl specialists trained in our community because there's like really not very many.
Sure.
And um it's yeah, there's just very few. And I am having some externs from some of the beauty schools, and then the goal would be to hire them. So I could see within a year or so me having a couple extra employees and rolling out. Then I'll be able to roll out some of our classes and start doing some of the other fun things that I've been like very passionate about doing. So things are kind of coming together, and we've even had interest in like, so we have a massage therapist as well, and we've been having interest with like nail techs and braiders too. So people who can join our space that would add value to our salon business and to our clientele and our community. So yeah, I'm
That's
just really excited.
That's really exciting. And Harper, I feel like you're going to be such a natural mentor to a lot of these professionals because your experience and your drive, like I said, is just one of the things that immediately when I first connected with you, I was like, oh my goodness, like you are someone who's incredibly inspiring and just wanted to hear more about your story. And, it's also nice to hear that you're struggling just like a lot of other salon
Yes,
owners, right? Like you're human.
yes, I am very human.
Yes, and that some of the biggest takeaways is trust your gut when hiring, really look for what you're absolutely needing, right? Focus on those key things, particularly for you. I know that it could be a specific skill set or a passion that they have, but also just recognizing like you have to be patient. And that can be really painful at times because, as much as we want to not turn away clients, that it is all about getting that right candidate that's going to really help excel. Because even just one hire can make a huge difference, good and bad, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
so it's definitely a timing game for sure. So since I wanted to kind of just check in with you as well in the industry, is there anything you would like to see change in the industry moving forward into the future?
Yeah, the first thing that came to mind is I would like to see the change where I feel like there's like a great divide with salon owners and stylists with the commission versus independent. Like I feel like there's just a lot of debacle about what's right and what's wrong. And I think the great thing about this industry, and I think one of the reasons we all can commonly agree upon, is we like the diversity of what our industry has to offer. So I would like to see it not feel like cat and mouse when it comes to salon owner and stylist commit, or like employee stylist. We're not here to come get like there. I feel like there's like a lot of negative connotations with that and like negative relationships, and that's not what I want in my salon. And I don't want that to be a thing for other people's salon too. Like I want our salon atmosphere to feel like a big giant team, and I'm just not a very competitive person. So I think I really struggle seeing that when I'm in like my social spaces with whether it be like Facebook groups. I don't know if you're a part of any Facebook groups. Sometimes I'm like, I gotta get out of them. But like Facebook groups for like salon managers or owners or even just stylists in general. And then when I'm in like social settings, I just feel like there's a lot of fear with salon owners, and then there's a lot of fear with stylists and like the straight just war, and it should not be that way. So I'm hoping these next few years we can all mend our relationships and know that there's enough people to go around, and we all just want a good work-life balance, and we want a place to be happy with when we're working, whether we're a salon owner, a stylist that's W-2, or an independent stylist. Like we want to be around people and enjoy the spaces that we're in. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Oh my goodness, you are someone who's really going to bring together people. And I love that you have just this natural ability that you're not competitive. You really see, you see people for who they are, is how I see you. Is that you really are someone you see the potential, you see all this, but you want to find a way for people to really kind of work together and not have that friction. And yes, I do know what it's like to be in different Facebook groups. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Well, Harper, what do you feel is your purpose?
Kind of with some of the things that you said is just bringing people together, and definitely my purpose when it comes to hair is to have people appreciate what comes out of their head and feel empowered. Unfortunately, with our curly hair community, there has been a lot of negative things that came about us wearing our hair natural. So I feel like my purpose is to bring out that natural beauty and really empower people to wear their natural hair and feel successful while doing it. But also bring people together and mentor people, and just make a better space for the future.
That's incredible. Harper, you are a delight. I absolutely just love your energy and personality, and you wish you were closer to Denver. I would pop in and say hello, because I just feel like you're just such a light to be around, and I just so appreciate you doing this for us. Is there anything else you would love to send out, or any final messages to our audience?
No, I hope that everyone else can feel a little bit inspired to know that it's not an easy journey, and if they're not having the success that they want right away, just know it can come as long as they're passionate about getting there. So thanks for having me, and it was great being on here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Making It, the path to beauty industry greatness with Canvas Me. Our mission is to give you a voice, help you find your place of belonging, and empower you to thrive in this beautiful industry. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights that will fuel your own journey in your career. Head over to canvasme.com and unlock the next chapter of your beauty journey. Create your portfolio, showcase your unique talents, and connect with a community that understands and celebrates your story. Subscribe to Making It for more inspiring stories, and let's continue making it together.